Did you know that 2 summer movies started out as comic strips? That's right. The Crow and the Mask were first found in comic book stores just like this one, Galactic Quest in Lawrenceville. From Superman to the X-Men, from Itchy and Scratchy to Star Trek The Next Generation, comics of all varieties and prices can be found here at Galactic Quest.
Comics have come a long way.
I was going to say, yeah, I remember them being $1.25, and now they run for...
Anywhere from $2 to $7 or $8 as soon as they come out. And so I mean, it is an investment.
Tuesday nights are rather busy around here because that's when class convenes for the future comic book artist of Atlanta. They come to learn how to put the superheroes of their imaginations down on paper for all to see. Oh, and did I mention they have a lot of fun, too? You know, there's so many different forms of art. I mean, you could be sitting in a classroom drawing a bowl of fruit right now. Why comics?
Because it's much more fun to draw like Batman or Catwoman than a bowl of fruit.
Yeah, well, I want to see some of the work you've done.
First I drew Batman, then I drew the Joker, then I drew Catwoman. I did that in pencil. Then I put Robin and Batgirl in, because then I just, like, wherever I had room, I just put in something I thought was important.
Well, I just noticed you must be a Batman fan. You got the Batman t-shirt on here.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
So Batman is definitely your hero. Okay, great. Well, let me see some of your work here. Ooh, look at this. Okay, just talk a little bit about it.
This guy's called the Predator, and I've been really interested in him for about, I'd say, 4 years. And I just like to draw him, and I just really do it for fun. And after a while, I just got really interested in it, and I've been wanting to do it professionally.
I'm curious, how long did it take you to draw this?
A couple hours.
2 hours?
Yeah.
It's taken me 20 years to draw something like this. That is really neat. Did you like the movie?
It wasn't as good as the comic, though.
While these guys make drawing comics look easy, they are the first to admit that making a career of their artistic talents could be tougher than they thought. So how long have you been drawing comics?
About since February.
Since February? So what prompted you to get involved?
Well, one day I had to have a comic book and none of the good X-Men were in because I already had those, and I decided to buy another comic book that I saw that always looked interesting to me. I bought it, and a couple of days later, I thought it looked easy to draw, so I started drawing them.
Is this something you hope to do maybe in the future?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but it's kind of hard for someone, especially with the kind I draw, to get into it.
Well, what kind do you draw?
Manga, Japanese comics.
Yes, I want to be a comic book artist.
Okay, so how would you get to that point? What's your plan of attack?
Well, first I'm going to buy Marvel Comics. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to send in samples till either I die or they accept them. Either way, I figure, what the heck.
I figure to get there, just sending in samples and hoping and praying.
Jason Bullock, the popular and revered teacher of this art class, agrees that while making the big time may be difficult, there are other bonuses that come from attending his class. Do you think this has a positive impact on the young people that are involved?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. It gives them an avenue from which to work with their imaginations. That way they can really focus, and they're putting their energies towards something positive. They have an influence, plus they can give something back to other kids, hopefully later on down the line when they're producing their own books, so they can come in and they can teach their own classes.
Kyle Puttkamer, the owner and originator of Galactic Quest, has his own methods of inspiring these students and all comic book fans to succeed.
This entire business is about having fun.
But I understand, too, that you, if the students make an A, you give them a comic book? Is that...
That's another thing that we do. Every year when they get their report cards, they come in, and it's an incentive for them to get good grades.
Free comics are not the only benefit. 2 years ago, Kyle and a few of the students collected together some of their best art and published their first comic book. They called it Genesis, since it was the beginning of Galactic Quest. And now they have another book in the works. Can you imagine having your own work published while still in high school? Cool. If a young person's watching at home and say they want to take this class, what words of encouragement could you give them?
Draw everything. Keep drawing, no matter what anybody says. Your parents, for the kids at home, they're going to say, well, that's the best work you've done in a long time. They won't give you the extreme criticism that you need to improve your work. I'm a real big believer in self-teaching. If you can learn by practicing, looking at comics, or taking classes like this, learning in school, everything you learn affects your life. And I think that's the most important thing.
If you would like to learn to draw excellent comic art, make new friends, or you just want to get to know Spencer a little bit better, call 399-3001 for more information.